Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to another night of racing here at Woodbine Mohawk Park. And as Chad mentioned, we're on the eve of Breeders' Crown elimination, so we're pumped up about what's in store this weekend. And I know who else is pumped up. My co-host, the Hall of Famer, Randy Waples. And, of course, pays to be a Hall of Famer because you walk into studio and you get some Breeders' Crown attire.
Some swag.
I'm still stuck with the Mohawk Million stuff, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I got to build my way up and build my status, so maybe someday I'll get to your level.
Yeah, this is it. Maybe if you wanted to give me $500, $1,000, I'd maybe let you wear this.
I'll work on that.
Not going to let you have it, but I'll let you wear it.
Yep, just don't cash the check. That's it. Just don't cash the check. But we're excited, though, Randy. You must be pumped up as well.
Yeah.
This is look, I got a chance to cover the Elims last year. Didn't get a chance to cover the finals, but to do it here on home soil just means extra special. So, really looking forward to this weekend. Looking forward to the finals next weekend as well. And, just really super pumped up. And it's everybody coming into this weekend. I know they're probably a little bit tired. It's been a long season. But if you got to this point, congratulations. And, again, I think there's a lot of optimism going around. So it's a good time of year.
It is a really, really good time of the year. And to tell you the truth, I was fishing with a former horseman friend of mine last Sunday, and he was telling me that him and a bunch of his friends are going to come here for Breeders' Crown Night. A bunch of people that I know, good friends of mine from the Maritimes, are all flying up here for the Breeders' Crown. I mean, there's people coming from everywhere to come to this, and it only comes around every 4 or 5 years. But if you want to see the best racing in North America, make a plan to be here.
Big time, and the Elims are going to be loaded. They are loaded tomorrow. They're loaded on Saturday as well, and we're going to get a chance to look at those Elims later on in the pre-show. But yeah, it's one of those things where, again, we have a 10-pack to focus on, 11-pack to focus on tonight, but it's hard not to shift your focus from what we're going to be seeing the next couple of nights.
Yeah, and then you got all those trainers and the horsemen and that, trying to get through this weekend, trying to make sure that their horses is having the best possible week that they can. And then you got, all the drivers that are going to be coming into town. And I'm sure that this is just, preying on their mind too. How many Breeders' Crowns can I get? It was a big race when I was driving, I'm sure it still is, but it was one of the biggest ones. And it was always weird because it was sort of a newish series that only really came out in the mid 80s, but like instant credibility, instantly everybody wanted to win a Breeders' Crown, and it's never gone away.
It decides divisional honors, right?
It does.
In a lot
it's
of
a
ways,
very
too.
important
Really
race.
Yep, and I'm sure everybody, again, we've got the parity and all the horses coming in that we're going to get a chance to compete. It's going to be remarkable. So yeah, we're just excited for it. We just got, again, one more sleep until tomorrow night. But we got to go recap what happened on Monday, and I'm glad we're doing this because I don't remember what took place on Monday, to be honest with you. There it is. Doug McNair, 5 wins on the Monday night program. Just made things look pretty easy on Monday night, didn't he, Randy?
Yeah, he was right on his game, no doubt about that. And then we got Bobby McClure with a triple that night too. Between the two of them, they win 8 of the 12 races.
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty good showing by those two. And again, the fastest Pace Bolt Spirit was able to go 152. Fastest trot, Zetathena, 151.4. And we had a preferred trot, didn't we? Mm-hmm. And she was still. That's pretty impressive. That's
Gaines Hanover won it.
Impressive that
I would
she was
say,
the fastest on the track.
3-year-old trotting filly.
That was the one who inherited, but I guess Dahlquist at the panel. So she still raced well.
Yeah.
But I think Dahlquist likely was going to be a winner if he didn't go off stride.
If he didn't jump it? Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
She's been racing well, though. Justin Turcott had a good night, though. He had a double, right? Gaines Hanover as well as Zetathena. So a very good night for him as well. And we see some payouts there as well as that for the tries, as well as the jackpot tie 5 carryover. It got taken down a couple of cards ago, so we had to start anew on a Monday night. So we were looking forward to maybe a 6-figure pool going into Breeders' Crown, and but nice reward for somebody to pick up 40,000 Canadian. But we're going to try and have success here from a wagering standpoint, see what we can do from a handicapping standpoint. If I go 0 for 10 tonight, I'm okay. As long as I have a good weekend, I'm okay. I'll get it out of the way tonight.
Yeah, but you want to build that bankroll so that you can go crazy over the next couple of nights.
That's what I got you for.
Huh?
That's what I got you for. So we're going to kick things off here in race number 1. We're scratched down to a field of 9. For me, it was a big scratch because I really liked Trudy Bird.
Had her in for second,
I
agree.
I thought that qualifying effort was really sharp. You have to figure that she also qualified on Lasix off that outing, and she was going to brace on it for the first time. And this is one who was racing so well, just very unlucky. in some of her trips and just really didn't have a nose for a wire. So once you see the L pop up beside her name, you have to figure, okay, I think it's going to give her a bit of a boost there, because we saw it in the qualifying effort. She was trotting through the wire strong. But there's another one that you and I have chased a couple of times in the in the summer, back in action here for the first time since August 28th, and that's Validus. And a couple of second place finishes in 3 tries, but her qualifying effort, she finished behind Trudy Bird. I thought it was a good one as well.
I agree. And, one thing about Chris Jr., he's also one of those James McDonald types of guys. He doesn't show much in the morning. You kind of have to look through look through it and take a good guess at it.
Yep.
So Validus is going to be the way that I'm going to go too. And let's take a look at this qualifier. So as John alluded, Trudy Bird out in front in this one. She's going to end up winning it by 7 1/4. And Validus, the horse that we're going with tonight, end up finishing second in here for Chris Jr. and trainer Roy Jeffries. You can see Chris sitting third at this point. Louis letting this one roll along, but you can just see by Chris's body language, he's not really in any rush whatsoever. He's probably got a stopwatch with him. He's more or less going the mile that he wants to go. He's going to take one shot at the horse that was in second, probably, just a veteran kind of a driver sort of thing, making sure that this one knows that when you spring them, let's trot forward and pass horses. So I think that there was a lot taken from that qualifier. And John, the other thing why I kind of went back to this one, as good as some of the other ones have been racing in here, qualifying in here, it just seems to me that this 3-year-old Green Manalishi filly is the one with the big wheels on the end of it, that 27 quarters on the end of it, where the rest of them are maybe struggling to get to 28. It's nothing for her to trot a quarter in 27. So I think that makes her dangerous, and she's going to be the way that I go in here. So I'm taking it that you are scratched onto Validus?
You know what? I actually went to Gucci Goo on top. I used her for second. I got to add a selection given the scratch of Trudy Bird, used Hobnob Hanover underneath. I like the way this Green Manalishi filly, Green Manalishi gelding, I should say, another Green Manalishi progeny here that I'm going to go with. Kyle Rule's going to take over training duties here. I like the qualifying try. I thought he was wrapped up before the wire. I mean, you could see the backfield gaining, Shimmering Hanover, a good one, chasing him. But I thought Bobby had this guy wrapped up before the wire. And I think he's put forth some sneaky good efforts in the past. And, just a new set of eyes, a new set of hands here in this spot. Again, new barn. Just one of those things where I say, why not? Just give it a shot.
I agree with everything you said about this one too, and where where did the 27-2 just pop out of nowhere? First time Kyle Rule. I think you got to give a real heavy look at that Gucci Go. So yeah, it could be an interesting pick in there.
And made a big brush move there to make front, and then it seemed like Bobby was in cruise control the rest of the way. But Validus definitely meriting a lot of respect. One that I included in my pick 5 ticket.
Did you see who Gucci Goo beat in the qualifier?
Yes, Shimmering Hanover gearing up for her Breeders' Crown elimination tomorrow night. I thought that was a good showing by that Luke Blay trainee. So we kicked off the pre-show talking about the first leg of the pick 5. We're going to move on to the last leg of this early pick 5 race, number 5, and we've got a field of 10 here in this spot, in this race, and we're going to see start number 2 for Axial, and I thought the debut was a really strong effort, Randy.
Incredible. Yeah, I can remember driving his mother. Winsong Magnifique. She was a big girl, and she had all the ability to do anyway. So Axial, let's take a look at him. Obviously, he's kind of inherited that from her. The qualifier was an off-the-pace effort, showed good wheels on the end of it. Now he decides in his first lifetime start from the 8-hole, let's do the chop and see what happens. Just a big, strong son of Captain Treacherous that we got going here for McNair. And what I like about him is you can always tell when it's real easy for a young horse, because every once in a while the ears will just go directly forward because, they're not really constant. Threw a couple little steps in there, but I think that that'll be rectified. And the beauty of it is the fact that Dougie's coming back for the second chance in the maiden class. Gotta like that about him too. So I think that he was much the best in here. I know he did throw a little bit of a step in there, but again, I think that it'll be rectified. And I think that a lot of times, horses are learning their gait at this age. That's why, some of the greatest horsemen that we've ever seen, always with a very, very long hobble on them. Bob McIntosh, Jack Copus, those kinds of guys that letting the horse come to his gait, not making the gait for them, letting them find their gait. So I think that each time that he races, his gait's going to get a little bit more longer, and those long hobbles are going to really, be beneficial to him down the road. Either way, big power.
Big time. I mean, every one of us liking Axial here in this spot, but I would be remiss to say that this is a tougher maiden group than he took on last time out, especially with the addition of Barracuda Hanover, who's exiting some grassroots tries, qualified on October 10th, a solid second-place effort to another Breeders' Crown eligible. Perfect Thought, who we're going to get a chance to watch tomorrow night. You've liked this guy, too. I mean, you've been a fan of his. You've went his way a couple of times. He shows some sneaky good wheels on the end of it, doesn't he?
You know how much I like him, John? Barracuda Hanover. I reached out to the trainer, Jack Darling, about this guy and this start. This is how we're so lucky. You reach out to a guy like Jack Darling, and I mean, 30 seconds later, I get a response. So anyway, he's listed as a gelding. So I actually asked Jack, is that why he missed the time? Did you geld him and then, bring him back again? And he said he's no gelding. He's not a gelding. He's a colt.
Okay.
So the gelding part in there is a mistake. I found out about it. Not really sure why the time away was given, but that is a vicious last 3 quarters that this guy put together. So I threw him in here for second. Not really sure where he's at. Is he going to be better than the horse that I like in for third, or the 3 horse that I like up on top? Not really sure, but definitely a horse that missed a little bit of time, Barracuda, and came back with a really, really nice qualifier.
Speaking of which, it would be nice, though, again, when we talk about some of the stuff that we would love to see, obviously, whether it be shoeing notes being talked about in the program or showing what type of shoe they wore. It'd be nice if we could, first time gelding was, or being gelded was a equipment change or a change that we see on the graphic. I mean, in the U.S., I think there's a few racetracks that do it. They report it that
it's a huge
change.
It's
a big change.
It's a huge
because you see different mannerisms, you see
Absolutely.
different efforts out there,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
absolutely.
It's another reminder of horses are like they're not machines,
No.
right? They've
No,
got
they
thoughts
all-
of their own.
They're unique personalities. Yeah.
So I think that's a significant change. So good on you for reaching out. But
And thank you, Jack, again.
yeah, absolutely. Again, we always say we thank the horse people for always chiming in anytime we have a question. It only helps the product.
Oh,
right?
absolutely, for sure.
All right, race number 6, that's going to kick off the late pick 5. Tomorrow and Saturday, that's going to kick off the mid pick 5, since we will have 3 on the sequence. But we're going to get a chance to see start number 2 for Stormont Shanley Boy. I thought that was a really nice debut for this son of Muscle Mass.
I agree. I thought it was a nice move as well. I got him in for second in tonight. Maybe I went a little bit too light on him, but there was another one that I had up on top in his last start. He ended up making a jump, and that's going to be the 3-horse Fourth Gear. Now, he does make a break around the last turn, but we're going to show you the replay, and I think that maybe the reason why he made the break was because he was as live as he was. So let's take a look at this replay. We're going to show you the whole turn. You can see at this point, James, he's trying to fish somebody out of the 2-hole, and this horse is live. Look at the James's body language, but every time he gets to fish him out, the horse in the 2-hole ducks back in, and I think at this point it just starts to become frustration with this horse, and all of a sudden a horse that's got that much go, he just puts the ears up and jumps it off. I don't think it had anything to do with him being tired. I don't think it had anything to do with him any problems whatsoever. I think the biggest problem is that he had a lot of go, and he was getting sick and tired of being doubled up. So I'm going to come back to Fourth Gear in this race. He was really, really good the start before. Jody driven him. He'd trotted a mile in 57 last quarter in 28. I think he was sitting in an incredibly good-looking spot around this last turn. But again, just from being there myself, sometimes a horse will get frustrated, and when they're a young trotter like him, they will jump it off, So I think that that's kind of what happened. I'm willing to throw that behind me and come right back and take a chance at Fourth Gear.
It's an angle that I like, right? When horses are in a pretty good spot and they jump it off. I probably went a little bit lower on this guy than I should have, to be honest, right? I just went with a couple other people in the top slot horses. I went Vista Verde. I went Stormont Shanley Boy in for a second. Again, that was a good effort. Probably would have been third had Dougie's Charge not jumped it off. I'm drawing a blank who it was. It was a Chris Matthews trainee, but I like that effort from Fourth Gear. I like that you highlighted it because, again, he's going to pick up a really good piece without a doubt. The replay, though, showed Imperative, who stepped up in a big way in that effort, and he's going to be integral in the Breeders' Crown of Limbs. That's going to be a huge step up in competition, but
He looks good in there.
But I tell you what, sometimes you see horses step up that we don't expect to, and they just get sharp at the right time. I know Ricky's really, really high on that call.
2 different seasons,
Yep.
John.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know, and it's something that's fun. We've talked about this many times, but I mean, are we not really basically seeing the same thing with 2 different seasons with the Seattle Mariners?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Big time.
started the season out very, very weak, and then the last part of the season they were unbeatable,
Yeah, yep.
and now here they are still going forward in the playoffs. Same with the horses; they can be a certain way, and then all of a sudden they come into that second half of the season, and they just, you know, and maybe it's because the weather's cool, maybe they're a little bit more mature, you know.
I could use a couple of extra Mariners losses, though. I don't mind. I mean, I think the city of Toronto could use a couple extra as well. But no, you're absolutely right, Randy. I mean, horses, you know, obviously, like you mentioned, some of them grab, you know, money in the first part of the season, and others just progressively get better. And again, we saw it with Irvin Hanover. Right?
Another one.
Start of the season, he was working out some tough trips. We expected him to just come out with a bang right away in some of these Grand Circuit events. He didn't. But who's to say he's not the top or the best staged pacer in the division right now? He's certainly right up there.
And I think that we could also maybe throw into that group, we could say Stormont Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she's really, really sharp, and we look forward to watching her in her limb on Saturday night. We're going to get a driver change in race number 5 on Stonebridge Impish, and this is going to be James McDonald doing the driving on this Terry Fritz trainee. So James McDonald will be driving the 1 in race number 5. There's our thoughts on race number 6. We're going to move on to race number 7. We've got some pop-up series here with these Ontario sire 3-year-old pacing fillies. This is a lot tougher for some of these other fillies, Randy, when you have a filly who exited a second-place effort, a really good second-place effort in the Super Final, back into this class. I mean, she crushed in the grassroots final. You have to figure this is going to be a really good spot for her yet again.
You would figure, but you and I both know that she's not in easy.
No, she's not.
You know, I mean, you know, you can look at her as a free square, and I'm not 100% sure if I didn't use her as maybe the free square, but there's a lot of nice horses in here as well, you know, but you know, it's hard not to like her. Again, another horse that the back half of the season has been unbelievably good for Simply the Best. So let's take a look at this replay of hers in the Super Final on October the 11th. She went into this with about a 2-week rotation, so she's going to be extra sharp and fit going into this one. And you might have heard about the horse that's in front of her right now. That's Chantilly. So at this point, I think that if you can stay close to Chantilly, you've accomplished a good race. And this girl, she stays close to her. You know, I mean, I'm sure that JR, the first thing that's in his mind is, hey, you know, I'm going to take a chance and maybe beat this horse. And he takes a little bit of a poke at her, but boy, oh boy, Chantilly there, she's another one there. As soon as they get close, the ears flatten, and she just seems to know exactly how to get to the wire before the rest of them. But no Chantilly's in here tonight, a horse that is racing lights out in the second half of the season, and this is where I'm going.
But she was gaining on Chantilly,
Yes,
which
she
is
was.
also something that we don't see fillies do very often. So
And was the only one
the
gaining.
only one, exactly.
Yeah.
And that was a really, really good effort by her. Tough to obviously, you know, not put her on top, or tough to not consider like a major, you know, win favorite here in this spot. I also used all my wishes in my late pick 5 ticket, but I took a shot with a couple of singles and some other legs, so I figured I can maybe afford a slight bit of coverage. But I do think all my wishes. This Chantel Mitchell trainee, she was really sharp on October 9th, Randy. I mean, a first over effort, she fended off a good one, or a sharp one on her back in Cold Creek Fuego. I think she's going to be, she's going to give, I think, Simply the Best the biggest run.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, you know, she's coming in here basically as you would more or less put her down as one of the best grassrooters. But you and I both know there's not much of a difference between grassroot and gold anymore.
Nope, certainly not. We're going to move on to race number 8. We're going to go to the trot here. Non-winners of 2, a field of 10, and big effort by I Believe in Angels. Randy last time out. I mean, Doug McNair picked up the drive that evening. He was able to guide her to the winner's circle, and I think she's got a great shot to double up. But I think you and I both think that there's a filly in here that we were impressed with in her first start here in Ontario. I'm willing to go back to her, and that's Esme.
Oh, yeah. I completely agree with you on her. So we're going to show you the replay of Esme, but just before we do there, she had the 10-hole, and Bobby comes out of there, and you can see he gets himself worked into a pretty good spot, getting 6 from the 10 hole. So just before we show this around the last turn, though, as soon as he touched down to the rail, the flow came. He was never able to get her back off the rail, and he tried. He was worming and squirming, trying to get her out into the flow, and there just was no room for him to get out there. So you can see where he's at now. He's taking a shuffle, Dougie up on top with I Believe in Angels, and she's going to be launched, and Bobby is still in a bad spot. How anything could start out so good and end up so bad. So let's go and see if Esme had much go on the end of it. And trust me, she had all kinds, John, eh?
No, big time. And you could see, I mean, Dougie was able to, she worked out a pretty nice breather there with I Believe in Angels, who was able to trot away. She was sitting on a pretty good effort. She was inching closer to her first victory of 2025. But you could see that, when Bob angles his filly out, she was moving forward, and she probably needed that start, right? I mean, she was shipping into a new barn, coming from Lexington. But I see that was a good effort once she does find racetrack, and now she's going to get a better draw to work with, back on a regular rotation. I say she's sitting on a big effort tonight.
I completely agree, and she was taking some looks last week, this start, eh? She was bet down to 4-1.
Yep.
She's going to be, you'd be lucky to get what's on her tonight, John.
Yeah, you'll get. She'll be second choice, I believe, right? I think a lot of people are going to still go to I Believe in Angels. I mean, that was a winning effort, a good one at that. But Esme definitely one that's going to, take a lot of wagering support here in this spot. I think I made her my beat the favorite because I think that the 6 will be the race favorite. But I tell you what, I thought My Way raced really, really sharp. I mean, we never saw him since June 5th when he made that miscue. He qualifies on October 3rd. He caught my eye, during the stretch drive.
Yeah, I got him in for third, and I completely agree with you. We're talking a 4-year-old Muscle Hill that was $135,000 Harrisburg purchase as a 2-year-old. Hasn't done much, $4,000 made in 2 years, but that last qualifier looks good. And another thing, too, we've seen this movie before with Pat Hood where he comes with a really quality trotter that's got some or pacer that's got some back class. He's able to get it out of them. The last one I think was Odds on Amethyst that he got off of Tony Alanya. Turned that horse right into a preferred horse.
Yeah, he was quite a standout here on this circuit. We're going to move on to race number 9, and it's going to kick off the late double. We spoke about Bob McClure Charge in race number 8, Randy, and he's going to have one here that's going to take a lot of wagering support. A Bulldog Hanover filly, Redland Sapphire, one that I liked a lot last time out. I said to myself, I'll take a shot with her, outside draw or not, one qualifier or not, because I'm going to get the price. I got the price that I was hoping for. The effort was sharp, but now the price is going to be no more because it was a really good effort.
Yeah, she just, he didn't really have a choice, though, right?
Oh,
he had the 8-hole.
Yep.
He kind of had to take back. First
Tough
lifetime
spot.
start, 2-year-old filly. You gambled. And
Mm-hmm.
if it works out, then you're getting yourself a good one. At 8-1.
Yep.
Almost 9-1 too. Yeah, we're not going to be seeing 9-1 tonight, John, especially after we show this replay. So let's take a look at the replay from the 6-horse Redland Sapphire, because she's also going to be my top pick in this race. Going to back her up with Twinbee Honolulu, who I think is racing really good for Francis Dumichel. And Jody Jameson, so far he's been driving this one, had a third and a second, but this girl really, really impressed me that day as well. So you can see Bobby coming with her way at the back of the pack, this daughter of Bulldog Hanover. These two horses out in front, very comfortable. Bobby still hasn't pulled the cork. Now he finally just takes the whip and just lays it on top of her bum to see what's going to happen here. And look at the wheels that she throws together here in this last 16th of a mile. She is absolutely flying at this point. Missed a little bit of time and going to come back, middle of the gate draw. I think that she's good to go, John.
I would have to say, again, it's a field that some of these horses are either struggling to get to the winner's circle or lightly raced, right? I mean, we got a chance to see Lexi Lane in her debut last time out. I can't say it was one of those qualifiers where I loved. I think we've seen some other horses maybe have a little bit more go in those preps, but one that I think can definitely take a step forward here in start number 2 and get a good piece. But I think this is a great spot for Redland Sapphire to break her maiden.
I completely agree. And Lexi Lane, I got her down as a +1. I think that going in tonight there, I had her down as maybe needing one more start to really, really capitalize. And it kind of sounds like you're looking at it the same way.
Completely agree. We're going to move on from race number 9 and go over to race number 10. And there's a couple of races, Randy, where some horses maybe stand out, whether it be in the early sequence or the late sequence. The way we close out this late pick 5 sequence, you could go several different directions. And if I recall, there was a horse that you liked on September 9th. Did you make this horse your horse to watch on September 9th?
Watch.
Out of a
Good
9th place
memory.
finish. And a couple of tries on the B tracks at Flamborough and London, and Road Promises is back here on the big track. And tell you what, she's coming here at the right time because she's coming off a crush job.
Last time she was here, had the 10 hole.
Yeah.
Now she gets to work with the 5 hole in here tonight. If you go down to August the 26th, we're going to show you the replay from September the 9th, the last time that she raced on our circuit. But if you go down to August the 26th, she also raced in the Prospect on our circuit. And trust me, you can see right by her line, she had big wheels on the end of it. So Mike Horner, you know, on September the 9th, she gets the 10 hole. He doesn't have a whole lot of choice. He's got to kind of take her to the back, but she does show gate speed. So I wouldn't go by this. I think that he had no choice. And let's see if she's got any trot on the end of it. Number one, I think she's a really, really nice looking filly, wearing the belly hobbles, you know. So really, you know, doesn't need a whole lot of help gate-wise. But right here, Mike starts to side. This is not a driver that is thinking, you know, is she going to back up here? He's looking for room, and he sides to side. Now it's the first time that he taps the wheel disc. He gives it one little tap there as well, and every time he asks her to go, she moves forward. I absolutely loved her that day. Been waiting for her to come back. She's finally here, and with a win in her last start at London. And talk about gate speed, 29 flat coming out of there, and was a winner by 8.5 lengths, 2 minutes. I think that she is easy. She's already trotted in 57 on our circuit. I think that 55 is right in her wheelhouse, and if it is, that makes her a win candidate.
Big time, and I think, again, much better draw to work with. You've had a couple of starts over the big track to get herself acclimated here. Tough group, though, right? I mean, I think Cadiddle draws the outside. I wanted to put her a little bit higher, but she's got the outside draw. What kind of trip is she going to work out? There's a chance where she doesn't see a pile on the entire mile. I mean, I think there's a good shot of that. Allure, I thought, maybe didn't have as much go last time out late in the mile, but she did a lot early on. And she's got, I think she's got every opportunity for a bounce-back effort. But I'll tell you what, race director, we talked about it last week with this filly. I said, probably a bit tough to go from a non-winners of 1 all the way to non-winners of 3. When you showed that replay on Esme, the horse that was trotting up the inside from the 5-hole was James McDonald and race director. So James is going to book off a couple to take a stable horse here in this spot. But I tell you what, race director, I think, has got a good draw to work out a pretty good trip. She just needs to get there tonight.
Who did you use, race director or Allure, or both?
I spread in this pick 5 sequence in this race, but I went race director on top.
I have race director in for third, but I didn't use Allure.
No, eh?
Yeah, okay. Kind of going against the James McDonald choice.
Like I said, I think this is a wide open race, and I wouldn't mind if Mike Horner got down. I have that filly on my ticket too, so nice. I would not. I just got to get there myself. Just got to get to the last leg. We're gonna move on to the last race of the night, race number 11. That wraps up our pre-show. All right, we're gonna look forward to tomorrow night, Randy, and we're gonna kick off a Breeders' Crown elimination. So tomorrow we've got the rookies on display, 7 eliminations. We're gonna start off with the 2-year-old Colt Trot. And we've got a field of 6 here. We've got some new faces that are going to be making their, career debuts here in Canada. We never got a chance to see all of these. We've seen a few of them. But Mr. Big Spender is going to be your morning line favorite. This guy's been super sharp all season long. He's coming off a big win at Lexington as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking good in there. We just talked briefly about Imperative. Nice little spot for him. Touched by an Angel, another local with some chances, but... I can tell you right now, I went back to Kingman.
Okay.
The last 2 times that he raced here, I thought he was fantastically good. Yep. And he's McNair's choice over Touched by an Angel.
Yep, and I'm Kronos, obviously, and Ocas Fonts to charge that Merits Respect has raced well. Spencer Hanover coming off a big win as well. And again, Imperative, it's big step up.
Big step up.
But he's coming off a sharp try.
Very, very sharp try.
There's a look at the first 2-year-old trot elimination for these rookie trotters. We're going to move on to race number 4. I believe that's going to be the second division for the 2-year-old Colt Trot. This is quite the group that we've got going posted here. We're going to see the return of Endurance, who was the favorite in the Mohawk Million and disappointed as a favorite. We're going to get a chance to see Diabolic Kill as well, who I thought was super in that Mohawk Million try.
He was, and then he had a little bit of time away, and then he qualified. Wow, Great. Did he ever look good in the qualifier. So Diabolic Hill, definitely a horse I think you have to take a real good look at.
Nick Snacken is really sharp, and as is It Could Be Worse. I tell you what, with Endurance, Randy, and I'll touch on it even tomorrow, I thought he was a tiring second. Like, I thought he got beat by the best horse that night in the end, but he was a tiring second, and I wonder if that had to do with the fact that he shipped here 6 days after he raced in that Kentucky Sire Stakes. If you look at his race lines, Chris Beaver was kind of spreading him out a bit. 2 weeks off here, 3 weeks off in between races. I think that 6-day turnaround plus a shift, I think it proved to be too much for him. I actually think he's going to be stronger given that he's had a little bit of time to rest, but I still want Diabolic Hill tomorrow.
That's where I went.
Yeah. Oh, you went Diabolic
I
Hill?
went.
Yeah.
The qualifier was like he always showed the wicked speed. Then he went through a little bit of a lull, had some time off. The qualifier was amazing.
Big time. And, we're going to see a 2-year-old filly trot elimination here. And, Randy, we talk about the impact that Cattle Wash has had here in Ontario. I know it wasn't his first crop, but his first crop here. In Range is a sire that not enough people talk about because what he's done in Ohio is remarkable. And Set Your Sights Eyes, the richest of the bunch so far. This daughter of In Range, she can do just about anything, it seems. Yeah,
no doubt. This is a really, really tough bunch in here. Unfortunately, Wish You Upon a Star Dale draws the outside. But, Storybook Love. I think Todd Ratchford's coming in here with a horse that's pretty live herself. If he can get the right kind of trip, she'll fire. Southland Shaska is one that's been racing really, really well all season long. Tim's gotten along with her very, very nicely. And, she's sharp as well as Set Your Sights High. I think it's going to be tough to beat those two fillies. But Emma's Mystery, I think, is one that also has been racing pretty well. We're going to move on to race number 7, and we're going to get a chance to look at these 2-year-old pacing colts. And this, to me, is the best elimination of the weekend, especially from a wagering standpoint. I think Brandon Boulevard definitely deserves favorite status given his effort at Lexington. Never saw a set of pylons and got the job done at 10-1, which was crazy because I thought he should have been a lot lower. But I think you could go several different ways here. Like Doug McNair's going to, postward, and he doesn't see Bojangles to his left or right. Does he not feel like I've been finishing second to him? I've got a shot in this group. Are you telling us which way you went? No, I actually went Fragment. I went Windor. You did go Windor, I did go Windor, yeah. Look, if he's finishing second to the best pacing colt, and he's been racing him all season long. So you're not supposed to feel good about his chances? Absolutely. Yeah. And he misses some time just going into the super final. Yeah. Has a great super final. Now he hasn't missed any time. He's going into this elimination stoked up and ready to go. And I think Ron Burke's got a 2 or 3 in here as well that are going to be tough. But Sweet Love and Lou, he raced great in Lexington to get beat. But this is a really good betting race. It is. Really good betting race. But I'm going to go to Fragment here in this spot, hoping he can get the job done. We're going to move on to race number 8. And we've got a field of 10 here for these 2-year-old trotting fillies. One Bell coming off a nice win. Just get her geared up for these Breeders' Crown eliminations. James McDonald's going to go to the 2-horse Jailbird Jog, however, and this filly's got some speed, got some talent. She's a stable filly. Yep. Yeah. She's raced really well. Yeah. He's been first and second with her last 2 starts in Lexington. First and fourth, but tough trip last time out. She went some big panels, took a long park to get to the lead from the outside, but again, a filly with some gears. If James, James spoke highly of this filly, and that day when he went to Lexington, he went primarily for that filly. Yeah. That was the headliner. This is a tough bunch. Denarius, last time that this one was here, racing really good, but I can tell you, Tyler Jones and Dustin Jones, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, it's not happening. I'm going bingo night. Yep, and Nezuko Kamado, one that I think has been sharp racing in New York. She's a sharp filly, but obviously a local hopeful. And bingo night with a much better draw to work with. And speaking of local hopefuls, we got the best rookie pacing colt in North America. That's going to be going postward here in this elimination. We're going to see another rematch between Frantic Hanover and Bojangles, but I think we know right now who's the best because he's a perfect 10 for 10 and he's beating anybody who's come and challenged him. I think that everybody pretty well knows who's the best one. Maybe next year it won't be, or maybe 2 weeks from now somebody will turn the tables, but right now going into this race I don't see how anybody beats him. No, but we're still obviously still excited to see that rematch. Yeah. And you Brute, one that is a really talented pacing colt, I believe, out of Warwi Butte as well. So, this guy's raced pretty well. A couple of second-place finishes over his last couple of tries. We're going to go to race number 10. That's going to cap off the rookie eliminations here. And I said Bojangles is the best rookie pacing colt. I think the best rookie pacer in the sport is Luadipa, in my opinion. I know she doesn't have the undefeated resume, but what she's done, Randy, and the gears that she possesses, it's incredible. It is absolutely amazing, and she seems like she gets stronger each time. But obviously this is the route I'm going. I've said it before. I think she's too deep for the rest of them. Love Sangria Summer, been following her, but I'm telling you, I think that she's a bulldog. Could come up with a pretty interesting little race herself.
That was a sharp effort in the super final as well. And I'm excited to see On Air here on Canadian soil. This is a filly I loved watching her qualify. I've loved what I've seen from her in her rookie campaign. She's got a lot of speed here, but Lua Deepa definitely going to be the one to beat. But we're really excited about seeing this group, and I believe it's Dea who gets a bye into the final, as well as, I'm drawing a blank on the other filly that got a bye, but Dea is one of them, which I think is great for her. You know what I mean? Like she's been raced, she's been jostling some tough fillies. For her to get a bit of a break going to the final, I think that's a huge benefit.
The one Breeders' Crown that I win with Dream Fair Eternal, she had a bye into the elimination.
And did you want that as well, though?
I did. Whatever Pat Fletcher wanted, I wanted.
Right.
He did such a great job with her. He just tell me when to show up. So I didn't. I had no issues with it either way. But she never raced any better in her life than she did with missing that week.
I think sometimes it benefits horses,
I do.
Especially when they're racing tough company week in and week out. We're going to move on and look at some Pick 5 ticket ideas here. We're going to start off with the early Pick 5. Randy, and you're going to have bookend singles in this early sequence.
Yeah, going to start the single off with Validus in the first. Going to have to try to get through that one. And then in race number 5, going to go back to another single, and that's going to be Axial in there. Race 4, to me, is the one that gave me the most fits, I went pretty deep in there, and in my Pick 6, I'm pretty sure I alled it.
Right, I found that race to be a little bit tricky as well, but I'm with you on singling Axial in the last leg. I did go too deep. I used Validus as well as Gucci Gucci Goo in race number 1. Went too deep in leg 2. I only just one single for me, but I'm going to hope to get the job done in those other legs, maybe sprinkle in a price or two and cap it off with Axial to get it done. All right, there's our thoughts there on some Pick 5 ticket ideas, Randy. And let's go through some plays boards here and hopefully have some success here on this Thursday night program. And like you said, build some momentum into tomorrow night's card. So let's start off with you first, Randy, on your plays board.
Okay, so I'm going to start off in race number... Axial in race number 5 is going to be the Waples Watch on that guy. And then in my all-in's going to be Esme in race number 8. Worth a look is going to be Road Promise, as he was a horse to watch quite a while ago, but I still think he's really, really on his game. Beat the favorite. It's going to be Lady Wicked in race number 11.
All right, I'm with you on Esme. She's on my plays board there, Randy. My Worth a look's going to be Intel Queen. I'm intrigued, obviously, with Bob McClure picking up the drive here. She made a miscue after pushing away pretty well in her latest. I think this is one that might be able to get the job done in race number 2. Newcomer Vista Verde, one that I'm intrigued with in race number 6. Beat the favorite Esme. In my value play, Wednesday's Child. Going to have to do a little side wager there. Maybe we can make a wager for that sweater.
Little prop bet there, my friend.
For that sweater, you pick anything you want afterwards. I'll take the sweater. We'll talk about it off air.
So you're just going to go with your pick, and I get the rest of the field.
Well, we got to up the stakes here. Then that's a little bit too tough for me. Garnet Barnsdale going to Boxer Sealster here for his spot play. He's in a really good spot here.
He is,
and he's been racing sharp.
Yeah.
Gislaine Paquette, Esme as well. Try number 2. Evan Plaucher going Redland Sapphire as his best bet. So there's our thoughts there for some plays of the night. And we're going to look at some Breeders' Crown stuff here. And we're going to see that 2 nights next week, Randy. The finals go rookies on the 24th, 3-year-olds and up on the 25th. And again, you get excited for it. You think about it. And, next thing you know, we're going to be talking on Monday, the following that weekend. We're going to be recapping it all. It's going to fly by, I'm telling you.
Something, the banner up top says it all. The most prestigious standardbred event in North America, and I agree with that. I mean, we've got lots of big races, but this is a big event.
Yeah, and we've got lots of ways to view these big events as well. We've got on Game Plus both nights, 8:30 to 11 and 7 to 11 on both those nights. Obviously, you've got Fox Sports coverage as well. I know there's going to be a large contingent of people coming over for the coverage as well. FanDuel correspondents, Fox correspondents. But you and I will be chopping it up here for Breeders' Crown as well. And again, we excited for it. We get excited for it every year. but we're extra excited because we don't get to host it. It's not like, I mean, we love the North America Cup. We look forward to it every year, but
Absolutely.
we're not used to, hosting this every year, right? So the fact that we get it in our own backyard this year, especially with the group of horses that we get to display this year, we're loaded for bear.
Yeah, I mean, like, all those great races we have, like the North American Cup, but it's strictly for 3-year-old pacing colts. Mohawk Million, strictly for 2-year-old trotters, you know? But this, the Breeders' Crown, we get to see it all, John. We get to see all the divisional champions.
And we get a loaded wagering menu as well. I love that Pick 6 mandatory payout. And we always get a bigger pool when they do those mandatories on some of those marquee stakes nights. So I think that's always a great idea, and I've loved that they've done that as well. So we're going to, 2 minutes to go before race number 1 here on this Thursday night program. Randy and I will be with you all night long to take you through tonight's action. Good luck.